Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Hunter, and I just got some replays from a recent tournament. These are going to be games from Assembly. This particular matchup is a best of 3, and the Terran player who has spawned as purple is going to be QXC. QXC is a North American player. He lives in Spain right now. I believe he goes to school in Spain, and I mean, he's competed in lots of really big-name tournaments. I guess mostly North American or European. Yeah, I don't think he's competed in anything in Korea or anything, but nonetheless, QXC is a really highly regarded player, and we're going to have to see if he's got what it takes to take on the favorite, Liquid.Huk. I haven't seen these matches, and I'm not positive who won, to be really honest. I've got a suspicion about one of these two players, but I'm not actually sure. So it's going to be a bit of a surprise to me, and I'm excited to see what these players bring to the table. I can only begin to imagine how badly these guys want to win. I'm sure this is pretty late in the tournament as well. So we got Delta Quadrant, and you know what's interesting about this map is, I'm sure you've heard it before, it has rotational symmetry, which is different from all the other 1v1 ladder maps in the current ladder pool. I think all the not 1v1, I meant to say 4-player maps. I don't think any other ones have rotational symmetry. They're usually symmetrical, like if you drew an X on the minimap, they're symmetrical in that sense a lot of the time. Anyways, what I was going to point out is that a lot of the new maps entering recent tournaments and maps that everyone's like, yeah, let's incorporate these onto the ladder, a lot of them are rotationally symmetric as well. When you spawn in the top right position for Liquid.Huk and the bottom right position for QXC, it gives a drop advantage to the Terran player. It's really only a short distance by air to get to this cliff. You can actually shell away at the natural out front of the base by having siege tanks up here. So you can siege up and hit 2 bases from one high ground that's pretty close to the Terran player. So we'll see if that actually comes into play. It could very well not. Second barracks on the way. 1 refinery done as the orbital finishes morphing in. This Marine at the top of the ramp is going to prevent the probe from scouting. As long as he micros the Marine correctly. If the probe ran like a perfect route, it could maybe like slip by, but no, not with 2 Marines especially. And because it was on attack command as well, that was a small mistake. It's just a small minor mistake, as now QXC is actually inside the Protoss base, and yeah, Scout's the very standard opener thus far, but there's going to be a Stalker out any second as it's getting chrono boosted out of the initial gateway, and yeah, Stalker will eliminate the SCV, and then Huk's going to put down some kind of tech. He's mining. Oh, look at even that, the timing of the assimilator. He knows that the SCV is not going to survive. Or is he? Where's that Stalker? Okay, here he is. Yeah, so Stalker's going to kill the SCV, and because... good luck hiding him. That's not going to work on Liquid.Huk. But because Huk knows that the SCV is dead meat, he puts on the second assimilator, and what kind of tech is he going to go for, as we do have a run by these Zealots, one of them with most shields, but no, they're not going to last. This was a waste. He ran by the bunker, which was a very sneaky tactic. Are these Zealots going to be worth it? 1 SCV for 1 Zealot. Definitely not. 1 more kill would be good. Not quite enough. And this Stalker is just going to get pushed away immediately. What kind of tech do we have? A couple of more gateways on the way. We may see 3-gate Robo. We may see a 4-gate. What information does Huk have? And you know what? That was really the main purpose of that Zealot run-by, was to get the scouting, because he saw both racks, one with Reactor, one with Tech Lab. Stimpack research on the way as well. So you know what? Even though those Zealots might have not been a fair unit resource trade, it was the scouting information that really was vital. These 2 sentries are going to be able to cast at least 1 more force field. Nice use of the force field, although maybe 5 Marines is a little bit too much. Now that there's another Stalker, can they get rid of them? Oh, it might not be fast enough. It would have been nice if Huk trapped 2 or 3 Marines instead. All the probes coming off the line. Gonna try to hold the 2 bunkers going up. 3 SCVs in the base of Huk. A couple of Marauders, a couple of Marines microing back, targeting probes right now. All the SCVs are going to get taken out. The bunker gets canceled. He would want to retreat with that extra SCV. That was just a free kill for the Protoss player. What do we have going on over here? We have a Twilight Council on the way. No upgrade yet, though, coming from the Twilight Council. I'm wondering if he's going to just get high temps. Maybe that's what he's sort of putting it down for, the late game. And a pretty good spot to put it down. You're going to want to proxy tech on a 4-player map like this one. It's obviously a lot harder to find it. Oh, damn it, Huck. How could you do that? Guys, I can't even talk about it. Huck now sort of setting up camp just right out front of QXC's base. He's got very perfect concave and a sturdy bunker there with a Marauder and a couple of Marines in at the top of the ramp. And wow, at like the 8-minute mark, maybe 7-minute 30-second mark, puts down a factory. So it's a very late factory, and we have another base going down over here. And you know what? Maybe Huck is considering what I mentioned at the very beginning of the commentary. You siege up here, you can hit both bases. So, I mean, this is definitely a safe spot to put up your first base. Dark Shrine warping in as well. Is QXC gonna have, you know, what he needs to deal with it? As of now, Huck doesn't realize, or sorry, as of now, Huck doesn't know if QXC has gotten a second base, and good for him that there's no second orbital command, because it's going to be a shortage of detection to deal with the Dark Templars. This Reaper coming in for scouting duty doesn't actually scout anything and just gets sniped by the band of stalkers. Alright, I want to actually take a look at the income tab. A very even 31 probes to 29 SCVs, very close. And a quick pause goes down, no big deal. And what is going on here? Oh, they're just destroying the backdoor rocks. Alright. Good luck, have fun. Once again, very nice. These two guys just chatting up. I'm sure these guys are really like close buddies too. Like, I can only imagine the amount of time they've spent like tournaments and practicing and like strategizing and shit. I mean, these guys just put hours and hours and hours. Liquid.Huk more so, I have to admit. Liquid.Huk is in Korea. You know, it's pretty serious shit for him, of course. Now that we have DTs, too bad they can't one-shot Marines. With, of course, ground upgrades, they can start to one-shot Marines. But do we even have... No, only now do we have a scan ready to go. Here we go. So that DT gets taken out. This DT here with only 2 kills so far. Ooh, a couple of more DTs getting warped in. This is a nice place for the pylon. It's a little cute, a little, not cheesy, but you know what I mean. Warp them in here, get them in behind the Terran base. And Huck now moving in, and to be really honest, QXC having a really hard time dealing with these Dark Templar. This DT is going to do a lot of damage, only 27 energy on the orbital. And is he actually getting like a Raven? Yeah. It would have been really nice to have a Raven a little while ago. Of course, for obvious reasons at this stage. I mean, this DT up to 4 kills now. Just killing whatever you can. I want to take a look at the units tab. Definitely an economic advantage in Huck's favor. I mean, he's been on 2 base for quite a while now. And obviously he's going to have a, you know, more harvesters, especially after all this harassment. And finally, the last DT gets taken out. I think he just stepped in range of the missile turret. As missile turrets have a range of 7, but their detection is probably closer to 9, or maybe 10. Now that the Raven's out, DT is going to be virtually useless, and I must admit, DTs are not a cheap unit, and to just keep sort of, or Huck lost his last 3 DTs at least, almost with doing no damage. So finally gonna have a second base kicking in here. These destructible rocks nearly dead, and take out the pylon. Definitely limit the Protoss vision, but Protoss player Huck here definitely has map control. Just going really heavy gateways, and you know, this isn't exactly a super difficult build to use, just because you have a relatively simple unit composition, just gateway units, and he's now incorporating high Templars in the late game, and it's working quite well against this Terran player. You know what? This is what I want to see a lot more in TVP. Get a Raven. How many games have I seen where pro level, obviously, like I cast these pro level games, but they just let an observer hang out with their army the entire game. It's very frustrating to see. You gotta adjust your graphics settings so that you can spot those observers more easily and take them out. A scan, well worth it, and a Raven, especially versus Protoss as well. Protoss players going this stalker heavy. Raven's gonna be good. Ooh, bad place to move your dropship. That's not going to be good as these Marines are going to get, sandwiched, cornered, force field. Ooh. Almost if that force field weren't there, he could have moved in with a Zealot. It's hard to say, though. I wasn't sure if Huck really wanted to engage there. It's a little hard to tell, but there's just so few, infantry. But, of course, the Raven would make all the difference. These combat shield Marines, stim pack, concussive shells, you stim up, and, but hold that thought. This is a nice little drop, but he's not going to get the Twilight Council before tech research is complete. Oh, just about maybe 7 or 8 seconds too late. He would have avoided Zealot legs, but the Marines are going to be shaking in their boots as these Zealots coming charging right at him. Nice to lure the Zealots to the ramp, but it's just too many Psyblades coming at these guys. Pieces of Marauders falling everywhere. A horrible sight for this Terran player, QXC, who is staging his final assault. Come on, QXC. He's going to try to bring it back with this final rush into the main base of Huck. Is Huck going to have enough to defend here? He is scrambling back. Take out the pylons. If you can unpower all these buildings, it would be hard to reinforce, to say the very least, but it's a sizable Protoss force, and lots of gateways, too many gateways, just pumping out units over at this second base and bringing them on home to, hopefully, for Hug's sake, put the final blade into QXC. Oh, do you see that? That was a freaking quad kill. It's like it's pretty deadly. Pretty deadly. As Huck is really storming out onto the field for game 1 here. No. He probably felt like such a douchebag while he was just running into the stalkers. Put yourself in the mindset of the Marauder, I mean. Like, no, I'm on move command. Oh. God. Anyways, I think that this could be it for QXC. As Huck now moving in. Oh, Psystorm is great for repairing workers. Oh my god. That is one thing that's almost overlooked a little bit. Oh, Psystorm just destroying everything in sight. Anything with a heartbeat, any biological unit just donezo by this Psionic Storm. And these Stalkers with more warping in at the proxy, and these Zealots being warped in. Oh god, that's going to be it. That's got to be it. As QXC at this stage of the tournament is just really thinking it out. What did I do wrong? How could I have played this match differently? And I think at least one core component would be, just staying on one base for so long, and fine. It was probably Huck, forcing him to stay on one base so long. Huck played very well this match, and just out-macroed him. I mean, Huck had this second base. Now, I did miss one thing in the final minute of the cast. It looks like this actually was what QXC, was waiting for. This final push-in with mostly Marauders, a couple Marines with a medevac. But can the medevac out-heal the DPS of Probes? It looks like yes. Probes did not have the DPS to beat this medic and how quickly it was repairing or healing the units for QXC. But it looks like this was just what QXC was waiting for. It was like, oh, maybe some desperate attempt with the medevac. No dice. Game 1 goes to Huck, and I'll go cast Game 2. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace out.